Good morning, friends. My name is Rod, and you have reached the Blind Model Builder. We are doing a Sunday model cars and coffee. Excuse if my voice gets a little bit crackly today. We had some smoke roll in last night, and silly me left the windows open. Yes, I was up in the middle of the night closing windows and turning the AC back on. Now, it's hard to have the AC on when it's in the mid to low 60s in August here in Idaho, but had to do it. But anyway, with that, let's get on with the intro, and then we will jump right into the video. Please support our local veterans and first responders. Without them, we can't do what we're doing here. Hello, I'm the Blind Model Builder, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Sunday Cars and Coffee, hosted by Paul over at Left Coast Model Builds. I am now a proud affiliate of Gallery, so please use the link in the description below or my discount code to save an extra 10% off your order from Gallery. I am also an affiliate of Spray Gunner, so please use the link below to get your airbrush, paint, and supply needs. It will help the channel. Now let's get on with the show. If you would like a shop card or would like to exchange shop cards, please contact me at the email above and I will get one right out to you. To start off, I want to remind everybody that it is Gallery's big sale. It started yesterday. They have sales, I guess, of up to 48% off some of their products. You can go ahead and use my discount code, which is capitalized T. TBMB. Or use the link below. You can get an extra 10% off your order. But now, on with the video. We are going to be doing a question was posted by KDR Speed Shop. I believe he's out of my old stomping grounds. But he put a question out there. What are the top 5 Jo-Hann model kits that you have that you would like to build or that you'd like to have in your collection, I guess? And I have one of these kits in my in my possession. I was just went on real quick this morning, did a quick search on the old eBay and found out, okay, what are these kits going for? And I now know why I don't have them in my collection. The first one is the 1968 Roadrunner. I believe that one was on his list too. And that kit I will picture here. From everything I've heard, that is probably the most accurate kit, to a 1-to-1. And that I'm pretty sure I can say that about all of the kits that I'm going to list. If there was something Jo-Hann was great about, is their accuracy, at least on the body. Most of their kits were screw bottom. Some had engines, some didn't. They made a lot of promos for car dealers, and they must have had one heck of a deal with Chrysler because they put out a lot of Chrysler products in the 60s. And yeah. Anyway, That Roadrunner is one of them. I looked on eBay real quick. That thing, if you can find one, it starts about $170 plus shipping. So, yeah, by the time you're done with shipping and taxes and everything, you're up right around $200 for that kit. The next one on my list is a 1969 Cadillac Eldorado, shown here. Now that kit is, as far as I can tell, unobtainium. It is not on eBay right now. No one has it for sale. I don't have access to shows, so I don't know how much these kits are going for at the shows. I kind of would have to assume that the eBay prices are not too far off. So when a kit can't be found, that has to say something. You can go out and find the 1970 Eldorado, which is shown here. Now that kit is available. It's about $150 plus shipping. So again, not cheap. It looks, I mean, some of you 60s Cadillac guys will have to tell me, was there a real big difference from the 1969 to the 1970? I want to say one of them had hideaway headlights, the other didn't. I could be wrong there. Even back in the day, I didn't really see many of these out in the wild. I saw a lot of the 69, 70 Mark IIIs. I mean, a lot of those were, growing up, I saw plenty of those out there, but I didn't see many of the Cadillacs. And I don't know if that had to do with the front wheel drive, but yeah. But that kit is also one I'd love to have. I have no real ties to it, nothing like that. It's just a beautiful car. It just is. The next, you can find on eBay, not cheap. And this is one I do have a connection to. It is the 1966 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. I've told the story of my father coming home with a Cadillac hearse that he tried to use, I should say, as a work vehicle, and my mom wanted no part of it. It's like, nope, we are not having a hearse in my driveway, not parked anywhere near my house, bad juju. That was my mom. She would not. That was the reason my dad was able to go out and buy a pickup. She said, fine, that goes away, you can buy a pickup. And he's like, yes, I got my truck. But he still wanted a Cadillac. So shortly after that, his side gig got going a little bit, and he bought a 1966 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. And I remember him painting it. We lived in, I believe it was Crystal, Minnesota, which is a suburb outside of Minneapolis. And he had a single car garage back there, and he had that thing all taped off. He pulled this car in, he was going to paint it, and the back, about 2 foot, stuck out. So he had to paint the car, and basically 3/4 of the car had to be painted. Then he had to, let it dry, turn it around, back it in, and paint the other quarter of the car. And this car, I wish I had pictures of it. It was in a fantastic gold. It was painted up in a 70s 80s color scheme. This sucker was high metallic gold with a black stripe down it. And he owned that car for a long time, and I remember just getting to go riding in that car. It was fun. People looked at it, whether they looked in awe or in I don't know, but he was proud as hell of that car. So I would love to have that kit, but at $300, that's not one that's going to be in my price range anytime soon. So that is one that I am looking for. If I ever see one come up cheap, I might jump on it. But yeah, that kit right there would be one of my bucket list kits. That'd be one of them. Now the next on the list is the actually this is two cars. They're two different years, but they're both, one of them was in a very famous movie that Elvis Presley was in, and the other was just, I always found the lines and the sculpting of this car in a 1-to-1 was gorgeous. And the two, well, they were both, I'll also say this, back in the day when I was doing demolition derbies out at the Anoka Fairgrounds, these cars were banned. You showed up with them and you got turned away. They were the Chrysler Imperials. And the two that I'm talking about is a 1962 and a 1966. And the unique part about these two kits is they were both available in a hardtop, sport roof, whatever you want to call it, and convertible configuration in model form. And you can find both of them on eBay. I did not list the prices, but I have seen them there. I think the 62, if I remember right, is somewhere around $100. The 66 is more. I think it's in the 150 range and up. But yeah, those kits are gorgeous. So one day, yeah, I might jump on those just for nostalgic reasons. You know, it's like, what we couldn't bring to the to the demo track. But now that brings me on to my fifth kit. This is one I actually own, and it's probably the one that is one of them that's most readily available on eBay. And that is this guy. This is the Chrysler turbine car. And I wound up getting this, I don't know, a couple years back. And it was an open box kit, but everything inside was sealed as far as I can tell. Everything was, yeah, I think everything was sealed. I went ahead and opened it just to look to make sure nothing was warped and nothing funny going on. And I was always told that these cars came modeled in very peculiar colors. They came in, the lovely green, whatever color plastic Jo-Hann had at the time. I got lucky enough to get one that is molded in white. So I'm assuming this is a later edition, one that was redone probably in the 80s or 90s. I'm not sure, but it's like, it's, as far as I can tell, it's the same kit. I mean, I don't know any different, I guess. But looking at it, everything is there. And I'm looking forward to building this at some point. Actually, I think I'm waiting for that special group build that this one just slides right in. And I'm going to build it at that point. And If you guys will have to tell me, but if I'm not mistaken, this you could get. They produced this car in one color, and that was this bronze color here. And I know a little bit about the story of that car. If I want to, the body was done by Beninfrina or something like that, by an Italian company. The bodies were shipped here, and then they were assembled. There were 50 of them brought over. They were basically, drew names out of a hat, and here, you can come and drive this for 6 months, for a year, whatever. And if I'm not mistaken, everybody that drove it wanted to buy it. And Chrysler couldn't sell it. Even back then, it was a jet engine in the car, and it ran at like 1,300 degrees. It melted pavement. It did all the stuff that they didn't want cars to do back then. But that one right there was, I always thought it was just the coolest thing between the jet age and what they considered modern. And a lot of there's a lot of Dodge Dart when you look at this, or a lot of a lot of Dodge styling got carried over into this car. I remember like the 64 Dart, the 64. You also had the Plymouth Fury, kind of had that look to it, the big bubbled headlights. They don't really show it in any of the box art on this, but that's the other thing about the Jo-Hann. Their box art was cool. All of it was. Now, I have a couple of honorable mentions, and these are cars that models that Jo-Hann put out that I didn't even remember seeing when I was a kid. I'll be honest with you, back when I was a kid, these Jo-Hann kits were usually $1 or more above the monogram, the AMT kits. They're always a little bit more expensive. So, I was kind of veered away, Lawn mowing money is how I bought my models back in the late 70s, early 80s. So yeah, once I started getting into the one-to-one stuff, and I had to start paying car insurance, model cars kind of went under the table. That was something else. Once you got into paying car insurance and dating, there wasn't a whole lot left over for model cars in my life. So, but anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, there were some cars out there that, or some models I should say. Even back when I was a kid, these were like, they're hoity-toity cars, I guess. And one was the Rolls-Royce. Like, these were what Jo-Hann put out as their Golden Trophy Edition cars. They had the Rolls-Royce Phantom 2 Town Car, which I happened to run across on, just searching the interwebs. The other was a 1935 Mercedes-Benz Roadster limo. It was also a trophy car. I'll show pictures of those here. Now, just looking up, can these even be had anymore? Well, the Rolls-Royce is a no. Yeah, I couldn't find it anywhere on eBay. I tried searching. That one couldn't be found. The Mercedes, on the other hand, could. It was actually one of the more reasonable price cars on the list of Jo-Hann kits. I found one for $160 with free shipping, which I guess in Jo-Hann's life, that's not too bad. I mean, the turbine car, you can get that for as low as $50 on up to into the $100, $120 range. But that one, $160, which I guess it's expensive, but it is gettable. And there's one other honorable mention, because this was the last Cadillac that my father owned. And it was a 1977 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Show a picture of the model here. I have a quick question for the group. I know Jo-Hann did a 66, I think it is, Cadillac hearse. They did the Cadillac ambulance. They did the drag racing hearse. They did the flower power hearse. All of those. I know in recent years, AMT has built the 59 Cadillac ambulance. Is this a reproduction of a Jo-Hann kit? I honestly don't know the answer to that question. If anyone has the answer to that, I would love to know. Please leave it in the comments below. Now, that kit is available. It's $190 plus shipping, so it's up there in price. And that one, I believe it is Ed from One Team Garage. He had gotten this kit, was it early this year, late last year? He had gotten this kit, and even he said he had to spend up. He had to pay up for it, but it was also a kit that one of his relatives, I don't remember if it was his mom or his grandmother, had owned. But yeah, my father owned, this was the last Cadillac he owned. And the reason he owned it, he wanted another Cadillac, but he wanted one with cloth interior, and this is the only one he could find. Everything else had leather. My dad hated leather. He wanted velour. If you remember that 70s velour, I mean, that stuff was like crushed velvet. Boy, did it hold in odor, though. Oh, that's another story. But yeah, that is my list of Jo-Hann kits that I would like to have. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to get out of the garage, escape the smokiness out here, get to work inside, and at least try and get something done. Maybe if we get a wind blow through here, I might get something done out in the garage. But yeah, at this point, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a great Sunday. Enjoy your coffee. Have fun with the family. Have fun at the bench. Remember, a messy bench just means you're not doing enough. Mine is plenty messy. So we will catch you later. Please support our local first responders and veterans and active duty members of the military. Without them, we can't do what we do here.